I think I can speak for all of us when I say that it has been a long winter and it is finally time to spring forward, and that means daylight savings is coming. Now for the typical person, that is very exciting because the sun is setting later. We have more daylight to get outside and enjoy all the things that we love to do. However, that comes with it being lighter in your baby or toddler's bedroom later. And that might wreak havoc on their sleep, but you are watching this video so you will be prepared ahead of time and you will know exactly what to do to survive daylight savings. So I always approach this in one of two ways. If you have a very sensitive or just slow to warm up child and they don't really do well with new experiences, then you want to prepare a week ahead of time. If you have a child who is go with the flow, nothing really phases them, they are not that affected by a little bit of overtiredness or maybe just a differing schedule, then you probably don't need to do anything to prepare, and all you need to do is just go with the new time change. But this video is going to focus on those slow to warm up or sensitive kids who might need a little bit of time to adjust. We are going to take this in a 1 week before the time change chunk and then a week after the time change. So all leading up to the time change, every other day for a week, you are going to shift your child's schedule 15 minutes earlier. I have this all laid out in a chart for you in a guide that I have linked in the description box down below, and I will also pin it in the first comment. So you don't have to worry about taking notes. You can just grab the guide and know exactly how to shift your child's schedule. But when I say shift their schedule, I mean set the alarm, get them up in the morning 15 minutes earlier. Not only are you getting them up in the morning 15 minutes earlier, but you're shifting nap 15 minutes earlier, bedtime 15 minutes earlier, and then it'll be 30 minutes earlier, then 45 minutes earlier, then an hour earlier, but then we spring forward, so we're back at regular time. I know it can sound confusing, and I literally get this confused all the time, but I have it all laid out for you so it is easy to follow. Now, after we've made the time jump and we're back on regular time, you are 110% being committed to sticking to your regular schedule. So we're not shifting any times anymore. We already did that. That is a thing of the past from before daylight savings. Now we are entering daylight savings time. We are going straight back to regular schedule and we are sticking to it. It is going to take your child time to adjust. It's going to take you time to adjust. But some things you 100% need to make sure that you have before this time change happens is your blackout curtains. I love Blackout Easy window covers. I will also have those linked in the description down below. They truly black out your child's room. So make sure that you have your blackout solution. Make sure you have your white noise, because guess what? We're gonna be hearing the birds in the morning. We're gonna be hearing noises going on later in the evening when maybe your child is going to bed, but maybe your neighbor's child is not going to bed quite yet. So you need to make sure you have that white noise. If you have a toddler and you are using the hatch or an okay to wait clock, you need to make sure that you have those. If they are manually adjusted and they're not hooked up to the Wi-Fi, you need to make sure that you have those adjusted before the time change. I remember when I was a kid and we actually would change the clocks in our house, like all of our, like this was like back in the 90s. So this was back before we had all of the Wi-Fi devices in our houses. So we would all go and change our bedroom alarm clocks. We would change the oven, the microwave, what else was there? We went and changed all the things a couple days before the time change happened. It would drive my dad crazy, but my mom was like, that was what she needed to do. So if you have any of those devices, make sure that you change them. I don't care if you change it a couple days before. If you have a toddler that you are adjusting 15 minutes every couple days earlier and you're using a hatch, let's say, for an okay to wait clock situation, you need to make sure you're adjusting that as well. Because if you're using red is for bed and then green you can be seen, or maybe you're changing it to yellow in the morning when they can wake up with the sun, you need to make sure that you're changing the times on that device as well, especially for a toddler who's going to tell you, I don't need to go to bed yet, the sun is still up. And that brings me to my next point. An hour before bedtime, you want to calm down the house, the entire house. I know it's probably gonna make you a little sleepy. In the long run, it's worth it because your child's circadian rhythm will adjust easier. So what you need to do is perhaps after dinner, kitchen's cleaned up, everything's good to go. You wanna turn down the lights, you wanna close the curtains, you wanna turn down noises. If you have TVs, music, whatever you have going on in the house, you wanna turn that down. I'm not saying you have to turn off the TV completely. You should for your child. They should not be having any screen time an hour to 2 before bed. So yes, I would like to say that there's no screen time before bed. You should completely turn it off. However, if you cannot do that, you need to just turn the volume as far down as you possibly can. This is just going to help your child's body start calming down. It's going to trigger the production of melatonin, and it's going to help their circadian rhythm adjust faster to the change. On the flip side, when you're starting this process and you're waking your child up in the morning, you need to open the house as quickly as possible. You need to get their little eyeballs exposed to daylight and make sure that they are fully awake. I know it is difficult to get your kid up early, get yourself up early, and do the thing you don't want to do, set an alarm if you don't really have to. But if you have a sensitive to change kid, then you have to. So you want to make sure that you are opening the house. So you want to open all the curtains. You want to maybe have a good morning song or whatever like morning ritual you have. You want to make sure that you're actually doing that and not just waking your kid up and bringing them in your bed and laying with them for a half hour. As tempting as I know it will be, open the house and just get the day started. The next tip that I have is going to help not only your child but also yourself. You need to get outside. For us, it is still absolutely freezing outside. I am looking at mounds of snow out the window and I don't want to go outside. However, when daylight savings happens and there is more daylight, it is a little more encouraging to get out and go outside and do something, even if it's a 10 to 20 minute walk outside. Just get out and do it. I know I've mentioned the circadian rhythm and melatonin. Now I'm going to talk also about vitamin D, but all of these things are doing exactly what they're supposed to do when you are getting daylight exposure. So you need to get outside. Not only is it good for the sleep patterns and all of that, but it's also just good for mental health and behavior. Believe it or not, if your child has been cooped up all winter, you guys haven't really gotten outside, now is a good time to just start thinking about some routines you can change, some daily walks you can start taking, put your kid in the stroller, bundle everybody up, and start making it part of the routine. Go outside. Your mood will be a little bit better, your kid's mood will be better, and their behavior will show. Now, if you're already sleep deprived and sleep is already a mess and your child is not sleeping through the night, I urge you, I beg you to sleep train before daylight savings, because obviously once their circadian rhythm is out of whack, as it will be for a week or two, if they're already not sleeping independently or sleeping well through the night on their own and you have to go in the room already, then think about what it's going to be like when everything changes. So if you need a one-on-one consultation, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. This is something that I help families with every single day, and I've been doing this for 9 years. So let's get your kids sleeping. Let's get them adjusted to daylight savings. Don't forget to grab the guide in the description box down below and in the comment section, and keep blooming. Mwah.